Hare Krishna. Thank you, Aarti Mataji, for the chanting. Right. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Dandavat Pranam. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminate Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Okay, so we'll continue with our prayers for this week. After Shri Rupa Goswami so mercifully requested Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to appear in the front of his eyes, and then he appeared with Shri Shachi Sutta Ashtakam. We glorified Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then finally we saw who he is. He's none other than Krishna, he's none other than Jagannath, through the bhajan by Shri Vasudev Ghosh last week. And then this week, finally, as we are concluding this month of March of Mahaprabhu, we will also conclude with the instructions, the final 8 instructions of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu through Shikshashtakam. So I posted the link in the chat. Share the screen as well. Okay. Sing, and then we can read the translation. Cheto darpanamarjanam bhavamaha davagni nirvapanam Shreya Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadhu Jivanam Anandam Buddhivardhanam Pratipadam Purnamrita Swadanam Sarvatmasnapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bahudha Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrapita Niyamita Smaranena Kalaha एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन्ममापि दुर्दैवमिदृशम् इहा जनिनानुरागः तृणादपि सुनीचेन तरोरपि सहिष्णुना अमानेन मानदेन कीर्तनीया सदा हरिः नाधनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितां वा जगदीशकामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवताद्भक्तिरहैतुकी त्वयि अयि नन्दतनुजा किङ्करं पतितं मां विषमे भवाम्बुधौ कृपया तव पादपङ्कज सितधूलिसदृशं विचिन्तय नयनं गलदश्रुधारय वदनं गद्गदरुद्धया गिरा पुलके निचितं वपुः कदा तव नाम गृहिणी भविष्यति युगायितं निमेषेण चक्षुषा प्रव्रशायितं शून्यायितं जगत्सर्वं गोविन्दविरहेण मे आश्लिष्य वा पादरातां पिनष्टु माम् अदर्शनान् मर्महतां करोतु वा यथा तथा वा विदधातु लम्पटो मत्प्राणनाथस्तु स एव नापरः प्रभुराशिक्षाष्टकश्लोक ये पठेषु ने कृष्ण प्रेम भक्ति तारा वडे दीने दीने हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे श्री शिव शास्त्रम की जय श्री कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी महाराज की जय Anybody who can read the translation this morning?
Go ahead, Prabhu. Am I audible?
Yes, Nalan Prabhu.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, everyone. Happy Ekadashi to everyone. Translation. Glory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleans the heart of all dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life, of repeated birth and death. The Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of the transcendental bliss and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. O my Lord,
Sorry, Prabhu, we're not able to hear you.
sharing Prabhuji?
Yes, I'm sharing. And we're reading from the
Okay.
second one.
Oh, it flashed up. Okay, I'm in the second, right? O my
Yes.
Lord, your holy name alone can render all the benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds of millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules of chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names. But I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, or do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. O Son Maharajananda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor, yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. O my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with the tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke off, and when will the hairs of my body stand on and at the recitation of your names? O Govinda, feeling your separations, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I'm feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna is my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly by his embrace or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord unconditionally. If any recites or hears these 8 verses of instruction by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his ecstatic love and devotion of Krishna increase day by day. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Nal Prabhu. Yes, isn't that such a wonderful prayer and final instructions? The Falashruti, the last verse that we read, says, anyone who recites or hears these 8 verses of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instructions, his love, ecstatic love and devotion for Krishna will increase day by day. So that is the blessing that we receive from our acharyas when we follow in their footsteps that they have given us. So,
Yeah, very emotional, sentimental. This
mm, yes.
very
And
nice.
thank you for wishing everybody a happy Papamocani Ekadashi today. So, on this wonderful day of Ekadashi, what wonderful way to celebrate than by reading Shri Shikshashtakam by none other than Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, thank you so much. Okay, so with that, we'll continue reading with Srila Prabhupada. On the day of Ekadashi, when we started reading Srila Prabhupada Lilamrit from the first Ekadashi of this year, what wonderful day to celebrate Ekadashi and to continue reading Srila Prabhupada Lilamrit. Yes, so with that mood, we will continue. So yesterday we entered chapter 11, and the chapter was titled "The Dream Come True." So we saw how Srila Prabhupada was residing in Radha Damodar temple in Vrindavan. He was writing translations of Srimad Bhagavatam. Well, that was only job half done, right? So he had to now go and publish the books. So with that intention and having been empowered by Sri Rupa Goswami, by the Shad Goswamis, staying in the Radha Damodar temple, he was hearing the voice even more louder and louder in his heart that the Goswamis were now telling him to leave Vrindavan, to leave Radha Damodar temple and go to West. And that is the same instruction that his Guru Maharaj had given him. So with that mission to fulfill, he leaves Vrindavan, he goes to Delhi, or he's shuttling between Delhi and Vrindavan to get his books published. And we saw how he was finally, he met few kind-hearted souls who had helped him early in the past, Mr. Hitsharan Sharma, who actually guided him to Mr. Hanuman Prasad Poddar, Bhaiji, who we call him lovingly as from Gita Press Gorakhpur. So who actually gave him the first advance payment of 4,000 rupees with which Srila Prabhupada could actually print his first volume of Srimad Bhagavatam. So that was such a nice and noble gesture by Sri Bhaiji that he was the first one who actually helped Srila Prabhupada print the Srimad Bhagavatam. So Srila Prabhupada always remained very, very indebted and grateful to him. But we saw that how he's going now. He's shuttling between his Chippiwada temple place and then the press to actually get the books published, and how he was actually walking every day, back and forth at this age when he was almost 65, 66 years old. So that was the kind of dedication and compassion again that he had for everybody, that he was doing all this as a service to his Guru Maharaj, to his predecessors, Acharyas, so that he could benefit the fallen people of the world. Okay, so with that, we'll continue. I'll read. So, reading from this paragraph. Amidst this milieu, as the Chowri Bazar commercial district blended into tenement life and children played in the hazardous streets, Bhaktivedanta Swami was a gentle looking yet determined figure. As he walked past the tenements, the tile sellers, the grain sellers, the sweet shops, and the printers, overhead would be electric wires, pigeons, and the clotheslines from the tenement balconies. Finally, he would come to OK Press, directly across from a small mosque. He would come carrying the corrector proofs to anxiously oversee the printing work. After 4 months, when the whole book had been printed and the sheets were stacked on the floor of the press, Mr. Hitsaran Sharma arranged for the work to be moved to a bindery. The binding was done by an ancient operation, mostly by hand, and it took another month. Bhaktivedanta Swami would come and observe the workers. A row of men sat in a small room, surrounded by stacks of printed paper. The first man would take one of the large printed sheets, rapidly fold it twice, and pass it to the next man, who performed the next operation. The pages would be folded, stitched, and collated, then put into a vise and hammered together before being trimmed on three sides with a handsaw and glued. Bit by bit, the book would be prepared for the final hardcover. In addition to his visits to OK Press and the bindery, Bhaktivedanta Swami would also occasionally travel by bus across the Yamuna River to Mr. Hitsaran Sharma's Radha Press. The Radha Press was printing 1,000 dust jackets for the volume. Mr. Hitsaran Sharma. Swamiji was going hither and thither. He was getting whatever collections he could and depositing them. And he was always mixing with many persons going hither and thither. With me, he was very fond that I should do everything as soon as possible. He had a great haste. He used to say, time is going, quick, do it. He would be annoyed with me also, and he would have me to do his work first. But I was in the service of Dalmia, and I would tell him, your work has to be secondary for me. But he would say, now you have wasted my 2 days. What is this, Sharmaji? I am coming here. I told you in the morning to do this, and you have not done it even now? But I would reply, I have got no time during the day. Then he would say, then you have wasted my complete day. So he was very much pressing me. This was his temperament. The binding was reddish, the color of an earthen brick, and was inlaid with gold lettering. Bhaktivedanta Swami had designed the dust jacket himself. He had commissioned a young Bengali artist named Salit to execute it. It was a wraparound picture of the entire spiritual and material manifestations. Dominating the front cover was a pink lotus, and within its whirl were Radha and Krishna and their pastimes in Vrindavan, along with Lord Chaitanya chanting and dancing with his associates. From Krishna's lotus planet emanated yellow rays of light, and in that effulgence were many spiritual planets, appearing like so many suns. Sitting within each planet was a different four armed form of Narayana, each with his name lettered beneath the planet: Trivikrama, Keshava, Purushottama, and so on. Within an oval at the bottom of the front cover, Mahavishnu was exhaling the material universes. On the inside cover was Bhaktivedanta Swami's explanation of the cover illustration. When the printing and binding were completed, there were 1100 copies. Bhaktivedanta Swami would receive 100 copies and the printer would keep the balance. From the sale of the 100 copies, Bhaktivedanta Swami would continue to pay off his debt to the printer and binder. Then he would receive another supply of the books. This would continue until he had finished paying his debt. His plan was to then publish a second volume from the profits of the first and a third volume from the profits of the second. Kantavedi went to pick up the first 100 copies. He hired a man who put the books in large baskets, placed them on his hand truck, and then hauled them through the streets to the Chipiwada temple, where Bhaktivedanta Swami stacked them in his room on a bench. Bhaktivedanta Swami went out alone to sell his books and present them to important people. Dr. Radhakrishnan, who gave him a personal audience, agreed to read the book and write his opinion. Hanuman Prasad Poddar was the first to write a favorable review. It is a source of great pleasure for me that a long cherished dream has materialized and is going to be materialized with this and the would be publications. I thank the Lord that due to His grace, this publication could see the light. Bhaktivedanta Swami went to the major libraries, universities, and schools in Delhi, where the librarians found him calm and quiet, noble, polite, scholarly, with a special glow in him. Traveling on foot, he visited school administration offices throughout Delhi and placed copies in more than 40 schools in the Delhi area. The Ministry of Education, which had previously denied him assistance, placed an order for 50 copies for selected university and institutional libraries throughout India. The ministry paid him 600 rupees plus packaging and postage charges, and Bhaktivedanta Swami mailed the books to the designated libraries. The US Embassy purchased 18 copies to be distributed in America through the Library of Congress. The institutional sales were brisk, but then sales slowed. As the only agent, Bhaktivedanta Swami was now spending hours just to sell a few copies. He was eager to print the second volume, yet, until enough money came from the first, he could not print. In the meantime, he continued translating and writing purports. Writing so many volumes was a huge task that would take many years, and at his present rate, with sales so slow, he would not be able to complete the work in his lifetime. Although there were many who took part in the production of the book and still others who became customers, only Bhaktivedanta Swami deeply experienced the successes and failures of the venture. It was his project and he was responsible. No one was eager to see him writing prolifically, and no one demanded that it be printed. Even when the sales slowed to a trickle, the managers of OK Press were not distressed. They would have him the, they would give him the balance of his books only when he paid for them. And since it was also he who had the burden of hiring OK Press to print a second volume, the pressure was on him to go out and sell as many copies of the first volume as possible. For Hanuman Prasad Poddar, the volume had been something to admire in passing. For Hitsaran Sharma, it had been something he had tended to after his day's work for Mr. Dalmia. For the boy who lived at Chippiwada, the book had meant a few errands. For the paper dealers, it had meant a small order. For Dr. Radhakrishnan, it had been but the slightest, soon forgotten matter in a life crammed with national politics and Hindu philosophizing. But, but slightest, soon forgot. But Bhaktivedanta Swami, by his full engagement in producing the Bhagavatam, felt bliss and assurance that Krishna was pleased. He did not, however, intend for the Bhagavatam to be his private affair. It was the sorely needed medicine for the ills of Kali Yuga, and it was not possible for only one man to administer it. Yet he was alone, and he felt exclusive pleasure and satisfaction in serving his Guru and Lord Krishna. Thus, his transcendental frustration and pleasure mingled, his will strengthened, and he continued alone. His spiritual master, the previous spiritual masters, and the Vedic scriptures all assured him that he was right. If a person got a copy of the Bhagavatam and read even one page, he might decide to take part in Lord Chaitanya's movement. If a person seriously read the book, he would be convinced about spiritual life. The more this book could be distributed, the more the people could understand Krishna consciousness. And if they understood Krishna consciousness, they would become liberated from all problems. Book selling was real preaching. Bhakti, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati had wanted it, even at the neglect of constructing temples or making followers. Who could preach as well? Who could preach as well as Srimad Bhagavatam? Certainly, whoever spent 16 rupees for a book would also take the time at least to look at it. In the months that followed, Bhaktivedanta Swami received more favorable reviews. The prestigious Adiyar Library Bulletin gave a full review, noting the editor's vast and deep study of the subject and concluding, further volumes of this publication are eagerly awaited. His scholarly godbrothers also wrote their appreciations. Swami Bon Maharaj, rector of the Institute of Oriental Philosophy in Vrindavan, wrote, I have nothing but admiration for your bold and practical venture. If you should be able to complete the whole work, you will render a very great service to the cause of Prabhupada, Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and the country also. Do it and rest assured there will be no scarcity of resources. Bhakti Saranga Maharaj wrote a full review in his Sajjana Toshani. We expect that this particular English version of Srimad Bhagavatam will be widely read and thereby spiritual poverty of people in general may be removed forever. At a time when we need it very greatly, Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami has given us the right thing. We recommend this publication for everyone's serious study. Shri Biswanath Das, Governor of Uttar Pradesh, commended the volume to all thoughtful people, and Economic Review praised the author for attempting a tremendous task. At a time when not only the people of India but those of West need the chastening quality of love and truth in the corrupting atmosphere of hate and hypocrisy, a work like this will have uplifting and corrective influence. Dr. Zakir Hussain, Vice President of India, wrote, I have read your book Srimad Bhagavatam with great interest and much profit. I thank you again for the kind thought which must have prompted you to present it to me. Hare Krishna. We'll pause here for today. Wonderful. Anybody has any thoughts or comments? I was just reflecting since I was in New Vrindavan yesterday, um, how the one pointed attention, dedication of Srila Prabhupada here to follow the instructions of his Guru Maharaj. And, you know, when we see when we see dedicated devotees like that now around us, it just reminds us of Srila Prabhupada. So in New Vrindavan, of course, we have many such dedicated souls. Like Ananda Vijaya Prabhu, who's the one who takes care of the cows. I was talking to him yesterday, immediately after our reading, and we've had the Bhagavatam class, and then while having breakfast, prasadam. Like I was just amazed by his dedication. I was just talking to him, like how he came into Krishna consciousness as a teenager student when he was about to go into college, and he just got a book, and then he was reading the book, and that just inspired him. And then he met the devotees again later. And then like last 13 years, he's been completely surrendered, giving his life for cow protection. Um, you could just feel the purity, like the spiritual potency around these sincere devotees. Like I just told he just I saw him in the Goshala, and he remembered. I think I had seen him earlier, so I told him, Prabhu, we met last time, and I just told him my name. Like I don't know from where he realized, but he immediately said Gopal Krishna Maharaj. I don't know from where he got that realization, but like that, those are the hints. And in the Bhagavatam class, Prabhuji was giving a lecture, and he was saying like Krishna gives those those hints, he drops those hints and clues in a pot for his pure devotion. Like we can see, and like just I don't know from where he remembered my Guru Maharaj as soon as I told him my name. Just he reflected 1 minute, he told my name again, Madan Adbhut Das, and then he said Gopal Krishna Maharaj. Like I really don't, I didn't tell him my Guru Maharaj's name, and he just yeah. So that is the dedication that we need.
Yeah, the interesting part of this today's reading is Prabhuji, um, Srila Prabhupada was so dedicated towards the spreading the things, though he's not having that much of money, everything, but his vision was very straightforward, right? How to print, how to get the things done. So at the end, he did it and it spread it to US and our vice president and all, right? So that is the good thing. Like if you have determination, vision, and hard work, definitely will reach to that goal.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah. Yeah, just that one service, right? Like one service, like how humble that service is to tend the cows, like So here, Srila Prabhupada, we see like just
Yes.
one pointed attention, like his Guru Maharaj told him to do this. He didn't care what he was going through, what hardships, right? Like for him, that was his life and soul. And yeah, like that when we see these souls, there's no recognition, nothing. Like he's just going there day in day out, just taking care of the cows. And yeah, I mean, I told him later, like, I don't know how he remembered my Guru Maharaj Prabhu, but I can see, like, you are Gopal yourself, he's taking care of the cows, and Gopal means the one who takes care of the cows, right? And, there's absolutely no recognition, nothing, like, but the service that he and of course, other sincere devotees with him are doing, it just inspires so many people around. And then, yeah, we were reading about Hanuman Prasad Poddar, and then there's also this Prabhuji, Lakshman Prabhuji. His last name is also Poddar. So I was just joking with them yesterday that are you related to Hanuman Prasad Poddar? Because we were just reading about Hanuman Prasad Poddar, right? So,
Mm.
and like, yeah, those are kind of coincidences, but we
Mm.
see, because he also was saying, well, so many people, so many devotees ask me, some have asked me, like, was he your grandfather or something? And, and you'd say, no. But,
Mhm.
but yeah, we see like how he helped Srila Prabhupada to publish the first volume of Srimad Bhagavatam. And then of course, yeah, we were with Bhavagari Prabhu, and again one other coincidence, Bhavagari Prabhu received on his Griha Pravesh, he was gifted the first volume of Srimad Bhagavatam, that the original volume of Srimad Bhagavatam that Srila Prabhupada carried on the ship Jaladuta. So it was again our good fortune that we had all these sincere and nice devotees with us around us as we celebrated. Um, it was almost like, yeah, kind of a cherry on the top. Like after we completed this 1 year anniversary of our morning programs, to be able to spend this day in Vrindavan Dham and take blessings of all these sincere Vaishnavas, and just being in Radha Vrindavan Chandra's presence. We were singing the song Jai Gora, Sai Krishna, Sai Jagannath, and we have darshan of all three there. Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Sundar, and Jagannath, and Shri Radha Vrindavan Chandra. So it was nice, and we were able to read yesterday as well. So thank you all for your wonderful association, and it is really like for us. This is again for me thinking back to my childhood days, and even thinking back to when we go to India, and we really when people are pious people who go to temples every day. To me, it is like this: like we cannot go to temple every day in the morning before work, but at least doing this morning japa and reading and associating with Srila Prabhupada through his work, it is nothing less than going to a temple every morning, right? So this is like our everyday morning before we start our work. This is the best part of the day to begin our day, and then in the end, at the end of the day, when we are able to read and go to bed before going to bed, if we are able to read Srila Prabhupada's books, which we do through evening reading as well, then we can actually make the whole day as a transcendental sandwich, right? So then whatever is in the middle is protected both from the beginning and to the end of the day, right? So it is wonderful, and thank you for all your association and participation. Any other thoughts, reflections from anybody?
Prabhuji, sorry, I got distracted for a little bit. I was listening. Thank you for starting this group. I know we went to Utah and we started something like this initially. Then we sort of stopped for a little bit, but your consistency in every morning trying to get this going was very nice. I really like, the last paragraph that was read there. That what it says: if a person seriously read the book, he would be convinced about the spiritual life. The more this book could be distributed, the more people could understand Krishna consciousness. So you can see Srila Prabhupada mood in that compassion. And then the next line he said, and if they understood Krishna consciousness, they will become liberated from all problems. That was his mood and in terms of that. And that I would highly recommend that in, where is it? Canto 1, I think. Yeah, Canto 1, like chapter 3, the last verse in that chapter, I think it's 43 or 44, something like that. I can't remember the exact verse. But the last verse in that chapter, in that purport, Prabhupada wrote a very brilliant summary there to talk about how we can understand, because we always say that Krishna, he said Krishna is not different than his name. The book is the Krishna. We can see Krishna in the book, but Srila Prabhupada wrote in that the gist of it is, I can't remember the exact word to word, but he said something about, if you want to know the secret of knowing the Bhagavatam here, he said is one has to be give rap attention, but in order for to give rap attention, you have to be what is it? Have to be pure in action. And if you want to be pure in action, then you have to eat, sleep, and in that action, he said, if you want to be pure in that action, we have to hear from the right person. In order to hear from the right person, we have to eat. We have to make sure that our actions are in association with devotee. I don't remember the exact thing, but go back. I know the verse. It's 1:3:44. Everybody read that purport. It's amazing. Prabhupada wrote the real process of understanding and seeing Krishna on the page, how to see the page of Bhagavatam. So that line reminded me of that. So I just wanted to share that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vishnu Prabhu. Your humility and you are an inspiration for me personally, and I'm sure for all Wisconsin Cincinnati. So thank you for being there with us every morning, and yeah, thank you for all your services, wonderful services. Many, there are many which I don't want to call out, and I know you are there behind the scenes everywhere, and that is truly a quality of a pure devotee. So thank you so much for guiding us. Thank you, Prabhu. Anybody else? Okay. So then that will conclude for today with Vaishnava Pranam prayers. Panchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। भक्तकोटि वैष्णवृंद की जय।
जय
जय गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। हरि हरि बोल।
बोल।
Hari
हरि
Bol.
Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Have a great day, everyone.